Right. Good evening to all of you. I hope you can hear me clearly. So I think we have a new student as well. So last time during last sessions we had Hirusha. So this time we have Tarusha also joined. So Tarusha, before starting, would you like to introduce yourself? Your name, where you are from, and what is your school? Would you like to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
I am Tarusha.
Yes,
Uh,
Tarusha.
I am living Atturugiriya.
Okay.
I am study from Atturugiriya Mahamati Vidyalaya.
Right. Okay. Very good, Tarusha. So it's good that you're from Atturugiriya. So I am also from Atturugiriya. My hometown is Nigambo, but I also stay at Atturugiriya as well. Right. So we have already done few activities. So we started these classes few days back. So we generally will be doing our lessons using your grade 8 workbook and the pupils book. So I hope you have these with you. So during the last few lessons, we have actually started with the unit 1. Plan the work and work the plan. So here we started on this activity 1 where we read this dialogue and then we converted the information, or we found what are the information which should come in these boxes or the grid. And also I think we did this one as well, where we are given the information as a grid, and according to the information given, we answered the given questions, right? So these were done in the previous sessions. Oh, this was not done. And from the pupils book, I think I gave as a homework, try to read this by yourself and to write the answers, right? So from Hirusha, yes, I have got the answers. Thank you, Hirusha. So today we will start with this. So Tarusha, maybe we have uploaded the previous lessons. So maybe you can go through them so that you can understand what are the things which we have discussed in the previous lessons. Right? I hope it would be okay for you. So today we will start with the activity 1.1, right? So it is your pupils book. The unit is unit 1, plan the work, work the plan. So here we are given an act out, that is there will be few people who will be talking about on a specific subject. So we need to read it. Right. So when we are reading, since Tarusha was not here, at the beginning, I explained what are the different things we need to remember when we are reading something, right? So we cannot read anything, whether it is in Sinhalese, whether it is in English. When we read something, we need to focus on few important things, right? So first thing is we should know what we are going to read. That means we need to first read what I'm going to read to the others, because we are reading not only for myself, I will be reading it for a different people, right? So some other people will be listening to me when I'm reading. So before I read it to someone else, we should know what I'm going to read. So we need to read what I'm going to read by myself, maybe silently, and then get what is the idea. And when we are reading, we need to focus on what are the punctuation marks, right? So I explained it last time. Punctuation marks means we have this full stop, and here we have this comma, and here we have this exclamation mark. So based on the punctuation marks, the way we are going to read will be different. If it is a question, we need to change our voice to make sure that the listener know that I'm reading a question, right? And also we need to read in a proper speed. It should not be too fast. It should not be too slow. And also if we are reading a longer sentence. You can see this sentence is very long. So it is not possible for us to read this sentence at one go. Right? So එක දිගට අපිට කියවගෙන යන්න බෑ. අපි හැමතිස්සෙම දිග වාක්‍යයක් කියනකොට we should know where we need to break. Right? So we need to take a long sentence and we need to see where I can have small breaks. Right? And with that only we should read so that the other person will understand properly what I'm going to read. Right? So these are the main things which you need to remember when you are reading. Right? So I think Hirosha, yes, you have read it and even you have sent me the answers as well. Tarusha, have you gone through this activity earlier or is this the first time you are going to read it? Tarusha?
Teacher,
So have you read this or have you done this activity earlier or is this the first time you are looking at this activity?
second one, teacher.
Right, so that means you have already read it. You know what is here, right?
Okay, teacher.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I think I may not need to give you time to go through it because you have already gone through the things which you need to read. So would you like to read by yourself rather than me reading? I think that is how we did it last time as well. So would Tarusha and Hirosha would like to read this? Maybe you can read one after the other, right? So maybe Hirosha can start with this one, Amita, and maybe Tarusha can read this one, and then again Hirosha. So likewise, one after the other. Would you like to try to read it so that afterwards I will explain whether there are things to improve or what are the things which you did well. So would you like to try it?
Teacher, mama Amita වෙන්නද?
All right. Okay.
Teacher, මම පටන් ගන්නද?
Right. Hirosha, ready there?
ඔව් ටීචර් මම කැරක්ටර්ස් එක මොකද්ද?
අපි මෙහෙම කරමුද? ඒ කියන්නේ කැරක්ටර්ස් කීපයක් තියෙන හන්දා මේ එකක් ඒ කියන්නේ එකක් හිරෝෂා එකක් තරුෂා එකක් අර එකක් දෙන්න කියවගෙන යන්න. එහෙම කරන එක ලේසි නේද?
ඔව් ටීචර් ලේසි එක ටීචර් ලේසි.
හරි එහෙනම් තරුෂා පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන් අමිතගේ ඉඳන්.
ඔන්න ටීචර් මම පටන් ගන්නවා.
Right. Okay.
Hello auntie, good afternoon. Is Sarang at home?
Auntie, good afternoon Amita. Yes, he's here. Please come in.
Thank you auntie.
Saranga, hello everybody. Why don't you sit down and make yourself comfortable so that we can start our discussion straight away.
Let's first discuss what we have done so far, shall we?
Well, I've already prepared the invitation cards.
Wow, did you do it all yourself?
All by myself. How could I? Amina and Romesh helped me with the invitation for the invitees and the judge. Our art teacher himself designed the invitation for the chief guest.
Rajeshwari, how about selecting customers from the drama, the sound system and the decoration?
Good. We'll take care of the sounds. Ruvin and Meena promised to do the decoration by themselves, but selecting customs for the drama is problem. I can't manage it by myself. I need someone to help me.
Any volunteers?
I can ask my brother to help us with that.
That would be great.
How about the language activities and games?
Our English teacher said you herself would prepare them. Well, we seem that doing fine so far. I'm sure we can make the English camp success and be proud ourselves.
Right. Okay, good. So I think both of you read well, and I think you noticed what are the things we need to understand and focus. But there are few things which I just noticed when you are reading, right? So here, the first one is the invitation, right? So when we are reading words, right? So this THE, you might know when we are telling like, let's say, table. So when we call the table, we say a table, or else we can say the table, right? But when it comes to apple, right? So apple gediya. For the apple, we do not say a apple, we say an apple, right? And also if we use THE, it is not going to be the apple, we pronounce it as the apple, right? So how does this change is, I think you know A-E-I-O-U, the 5 vowel letters, right? I think I explained this to Hirusha last time, but since Tarusha, do you know what are vowels?
Yes, teacher.
Right. So vowel means A-E-I-O-U, right? You know it, right?
I know, teacher.
Right. So when we have vowels or words which are starting with a vowel, we do not say a or we do not say the, right? But when we read it, when it comes to a, it should be an, right? So if we, as an example, if we say if we want to say an invitation, it should not be a invitation, it will be an invitation. Whereas if we are using the, this should be read as the invitation, right? So it is not the, but it should be read as the invitation, right? So here, when you are reading this kind of words, make sure when you have either the, especially when it comes to the, otherwise if it is a, there is a difference, a, and the other one is an, A-N, right? So there is a difference there, we can identify it. But when it comes to the, we write it in the same way, the THE, the spellings is same, but the way we pronounce would be different, right? So let's say the ball, right? So if we are talking about a ball, it is the ball. But if we are talking about, as I said, the apple, right? So it should be the apple, right? Likewise here, it should be the invitation, right? And also I noticed that when you were reading, you got this word incorrect, right? So this is judges, right? So Judges, judges. So what do we mean by judges is, here they are talking about some competition, right? So some drama competition. So in a competition, we should have somebody to select who is the winner, who is the who wins the first place, who wins the second place. Likewise, there should be someone to decide it. So the person who decides that is said to be a judge. So if there are more than one persons to do the decision making, we call them judges, right? So විනිශ්චයකාරයෝ කියන්නේ අපේ කම්පිටිෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒක සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ කවුද පළවෙනියා කවුද දෙවෙනියා. ඒකට එහෙම සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න නම් ඒකට ඉන්නවා විනිශ්චයකාරයෝ. එක්කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, දෙන්නෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, තුන් දෙනෙක්. ඒතර එක්කෙනෙක් නම් අපි කියන්නේ judge. එක්කෙනෙක්ට වඩා වැඩි ගාණක් ඉන්නවා නම් judges, right? So එහෙම තමයි එතකොට pronounce කරන්න ඕනේ judges. Right, and here I saw this word costumes, right? So this is costumes. So what do we mean by costumes? එකන අපි අඳින ඇඳුම්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි ඩ්‍රාමා එකක් කරනවා නම් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අඳින ඇඳුම් නෙවෙයිනේ අඳින අපි කරන ඩ්‍රාමා එකට අදාළ ඇඳුම් තමයි අඳින්නේ. ඒතකොට ඒ ඇඳුම් වලට අපි කියන්නේ costumes, right? That is why it says how about selecting costumes for the drama, right? The sound system and the decorations, right? So this word is decoration. So what do we mean by decoration? Api උත්සවවලට එක එක සැරසිලි කරන්න යන සැරසිලි කියන එක තමයි decorations කියන්නේ, right? This you need to pronounce it as decorations, right? And also I think this word we pronounce it as volunteers, right? Volunteers. Okay, so what do we mean by volunteers? Somebody who does something without getting any payment, right? අපි කියන්නේ ස්වේච්ඡා සංවිධාන කියලා. කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ කාගෙන්වත් සල්ලි අය කරන්නේ නැහැ, මුදල් අය කරන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් යම්කිසි සේවයක් දෙනවා. අනේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ. ඒතර අපි සිංහලෙන් නම් කියනවා ස්වේච්ඡා සේවකයින් කියලා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට තමයි අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් කියන්නේ volunteers, right? So that is the next word. And then again this one we need to read because this is a word which is starting with a vowel, right? So E is a vowel. So we need to read make the English camp, right? So this should be make the English camp a success, right? So you two read well, very good. So for the as the beginning it was very good, but there are these small things which you need to remember. And when you are reading, another thing is when you see a question mark, you need to express it as a question, right? උදාහරණයක් විදියට දැන් මම ඔයගොල්ලෝගෙන් අහනවා නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අද දවල්ට කෑවද කියලා. ඒක මම ප්‍රශ්නයක් විදියට නහන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අද දවල්ට කෑවද? එතකොට මම කතා කරන විදිය වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඒ වගේ did you do it by yourself? The other person should understand that this person is reading a question, not a normal sentence, right? So ඒ වගේ දේවලුත් පොඩ්ඩක් මතකේ තියාගන්න කියවනකොට සහ අර හරියට කියවන එක, right? So you need to know what you are going to read and you need to read it correctly, right? Okay, good. So we are done with reading. So afterwards we are given some questions, right? So we need to find answers for these questions. So I think Hirusha sent me some answers, but since Tarusha was not here, I would like to give you about 10 minutes for you to write or find the answers for these 6 questions, right? So the first question is, who were the members of the organizing committee, right? So who were the members of the organizing committee? Where did the organizing committee meet? Where did the organizing committee meet? Third one, did Milan prepare the invitation cards by himself? Did Milan prepare the invitation cards by himself? Fourth question, who designed the invitation for the chief guest? Who designed the invitation for the chief guest? Sorry. Fifth question, what were the responsibilities of the following students? List them. Jude, Rubin, and Meena. And the sixth question, how did they solve the problem of selecting the costumes for the drama? Right? So these are the 6 questions. So you should be able to find the answers from the above dialogue which we discussed. So I will give you about 10 minutes, right? So if you finish it before that, you can raise your hand using the option in the Zoom, right? take maximum 10 minutes to write the answers, right? And Hirusha, I think in the answers you sent, you had to write the answers for the last two questions. So I think you can try the last two questions as well, right? Right. Okay. So take 10 minutes and write the answers and then we will discuss. Right. So meantime, if you have any questions, something which is not clear, please ask me. Right. So මේ ප්‍රශ්න හයට උත්තර ලියන්න දැන් මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්නේ තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මොකද්ද මේ අහන්නේ එහෙම නැත්නම් උත්තරේ මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ මොනවා හරි අපහැදිලි තැන් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න මම තේරුම් කරලා දෙන්නම් විනාඩි 10ක් මම දෙන්නම් ඒ විනාඩි 10න් පස්සේ අපි උත්තර ටික සාකච්ඡා කරමු. Right?
teacher ඉවරයි.
Right. Okay. මම හිතන්නේ හිරුෂත් ඉවරයි නේද හිරුෂ? හිරුෂ මට කරලා ඉවලා තිබ්බනේ කලින්. Right. Okay. Right. So we will start to discuss the answers. So I will take this one. Right. Okay. So the first question, these are the ones which we are going to answer. Who were the members of the organizing committee? Right. So can someone tell me what is the answer here? Hirosha?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Can you tell me the answer for this first question?
I can, teacher. Saranga, Amita, Rajeshwari, and Milan.
Right, very good. Okay, so these were the organizing committee, right? So when we are answering this kind of a question, one thing I want to let you know is we need to write a complete sentence, right? So සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කතා කරනකොට නෙමෙයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් يعني ලියනකොට ලියන භාෂාවෙන් ලිඛිත භාෂාවේදී අපි උත්තරයක් දෙනකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සම්පූර්ණ වාක්‍යකින් අපි උත්තරය දෙන්න ඕනේ. right? එතකොට තමයි ඒක complete උත්තරයක් කියලා බාරගන්නේ. සම්පූර්ණ උත්තරයක් විදියට බාරගන්නේ. එතකොට who were the members of the organizing committee? කිව්වහම we need to say the members of the organizing committee were Saranga, Amita, Rajeshwari, and Milan, right? So Hirosha, your answer is correct, but when we are writing answers, as I said, we need to make sure we write it as a full sentence, right? When we talk, right? So when we are talking, it is okay. But when we are writing, we need to give the full sentence, right? So we will move on to the second question. Where did the organizing committee meet? Right? So maybe Tarusha, can you try?
Teacher, I can't remember, teacher.
Right. Okay. It's okay. No problem. We are here to study. It's okay. I will just, right. I will just go to the textbook, right? So here, actually, I think we did not read this loud, but here it is given. The members of the organizing committee, Saranga, Amita, Rajeshwari, and Milan, have decided to meet at Saranga's house to plan it out. So where do they meet? At Saranga's house, right? So this is the answer. So as I said, when we write the answer, we need to give it as a complete sentence. So we need to start from here. The organizing committee met, right? So because it is past tense, the organizing committee met at Saranga's place, right? So that should be the answer. Third question. Did Milan prepare the invitation cards by himself? Right? So Hirosha, can you try it out?
What question, teacher?
Question number 3.
Answer is no. He is helping for Amina and Romesh.
Yes, okay, good. So you have got the answer. So this is how you need to write it properly, right? So when you are writing, make sure, as I said, you write complete sentences, right? No, Milan did not prepare the invitation cards by himself. Right? So it asks, did Milan prepare the invitation cards by himself? So no, Milan did not prepare the invitation cards by himself. He was helped by Amina, Romesh, and the arts teacher. Right? So we need to give complete sentences. Right. And then fourth question. Who designed the invitation for the chief guests? Can Tarusha try it?
Rajeshwari.
Right, let's see. Okay, no, I think it is the arts teacher. Right, so let's go to text. Here you will see. So here you can see, right? So Milan is telling Amina and Romesh helped me with the invitations for the invitees and the judges. Our arts teacher himself designed the invitation for the chief guest. So it is the art teacher who designed the invitation for the chief guest, right? So it should be the arts teacher, right? So the arts teacher designed the invitation for the chief guest, right? So that should be the correct answer, right? So the fifth question, what were the responsibilities of the following students? List them. So the first student is Jude. Second, there are two students, Ruvin and Meena. So Hirosha, would you like to try the answer?
I can't, teacher.
Right, it's okay, no problem. Okay, so right. So responsibility. So we are asked to write the responsibilities. So when we consider Jude in the textbook, we will see he has got only one responsibility. We will go to the textbook, right? So here, Rajeshwari is telling Jude will take care of the sounds. So that is the responsibility, right? So Jude tamara අපි මොනවා හරි ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් තියෙනකොට ඒකට sounds ගේන්න ඕනේ නේ. ඒතකොට ඒ sound systems ඒක arrange කරන එක තමයි Jude ගේ responsibility එක. Right? And ඊළඟට තියෙනවා Ruvin and Meena promise to do the decorations by themselves. ඒ කියන්නේ Ruvin and Meena කරන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි අර මං කිව්ව decorations කියන්නේ මොනවද? සැරසිලි. සැරසිලි කරන්නේ එතන ඒ event එක දවසේ ඒ කරන එක තමයි ඒ දෙන්නගේ responsibility එක. Right? එතකොට එතනින් තමයි ඕගොල්ලන්ට ඒකේ උත්තරේ එන්නේ. So what is the answer? Responsibility of Jude is to take care of the sounds, right? And responsibility of Ruvin and Meena is to do the decorations by themselves, right? Okay, so the sixth question. How did they solve the problem of selecting the costumes for the drama? How did they solve the problem of selecting the costumes for the drama? I think Tarusha has got disconnected. So Hirosha, were you able to get the answer for this one? Hirosha?
Rajeshwari.
Okay, so the answer is not quite correct. So we need to find how they are going to get the costumes, right? So he says here, Rajeshwari says, but selecting costumes for the drama is a problem. I can't manage it by myself. I need someone to help me. So that means Rajeshwari is not able to do it, right? මෙතන කියන්නේ costume select කරන එක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නය. Problem කියන්නේ ප්‍රශ්නය. I can't manage it by myself. So Rajeshwari is telling that she can't do it. රාජේශ්වරිට ඒක කරන්න බෑ කාගේ හරි උදව් ඕනේ කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. එතකොට අමිතා කියනවා I can ask my mother to help us with that. ඒ කියන්නේ අමිතාගේ අම්මා තමයි ඒකට උදව් කරන්න යන්නේ. Right? So your answer should be they solved the problem of selecting the costumes for the drama by deciding to ask help from Amita's mother. අමිතාගේ අම්මගෙන් උදව් අරගන්න තීරණය කරන එකෙන් කරලා තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තරේ හොයාගන්නේ. Right? So now is it clear, Hirusha?
What, teacher?
Is it clear the answer for the sixth one? අපි 6 වෙනි ප්‍රශ්නෙට මේ උත්තරේ ගත්තේ. කියන්නේ දැන් අර කියවුවාම තේරෙනවනේ. කියන්නේ රාජේශ්වරීට ඒක තනියම කරන්න බෑ. ඒක හන්ද කාගේ හරි උදව් ඕනේ. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලෝ කල්පනා කරනවා කාගේ උදව්ද ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒකට අමිතා කියනවා මගේ අම්මගෙන්.
ඔව් teacher.
Right? ඒකට answer එක වෙන්න ඕනේ they decided to ask help from Amita's mother. Right? Right. Okay. So with that, we have ended the activity 1.2. And if we move on to the next page of your textbook or pupil's book, you will see here you have something called this yourselves, yourself, myself, himself. So do you know what are these? yourselves, yourself, myself, himself කියන්නේ කියන එක දන්නවද හිරුෂා?
Yes, teacher. Is within.
Right, himself. Yes. කියන්නේ මයා විසින් කරනවා, එයා විසින් කරනවා herself නම් විදියට. So these kind of words we call them as reflexive pronouns. ඒ කියන්නේ I මම කියන එකට reflexive pronoun එක තමයි myself. Right? We know I, me, myself එහෙමනේ. එතකොට I නම් myself විදියට තමයි reflexive pronouns එන්නේ. Right? So මේක තමයි අපි ඊළඟට discuss කරන්න ඕනේ. Hirusha දන්නවද what are nouns? Noun.
Yes, teacher.
Right. Okay. So what is a noun? Noun එකක් කියන්නේ මොනවාද? මොකක්ද?
The Sinhalese is නාමපදයක්.
Yes, very good. It is namapadyak, right? So you can see here nouns, right? So nouns, namapada අපි කියනවා කෙනෙක්, දෙයක්, තැනක් එහෙම කියලා, right? So likewise in English, noun means it can be a person, පුද්ගලයෙක්, it can be an animal, සතෙක්, it can be a place, තැනක්, it can be a thing, ඒ කියන්නේ යම්කිසි දෙයක්, and even it can be an idea. Idea කියන්නේ අදහසක්. Right? So I have listed here some examples. Person, man, and so even if we call someone by a name, right? Hirusha. So Hirusha is a noun, right? Parents, අපේ දෙමව්පියෝ. ඒගොල්ලොත් පුද්ගලයා යටතට එන්නේ. එතකොට parents. David, ඒ කියන්නේ නම් වලින් අපි කාව හරි හඳුන්වනවා නම් ඒ කියන්නේ පුද්ගලයෙක්නේ. එතකොට ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ noun එකක් කියලා. Women. පොදුවේ කීප දෙනෙක් අරගෙන අපි women, men එහෙම කියනවා නම් ඒ noun එකක්. හැබැයි ඒක plural, බහුපදයක්. Right? Animal. So dog, cat, elephants, fish, birds, ඕනම සතෙක් එනවා noun කියන එක යටතට. ඊට පස්සේ place. Place එකක් කිව්වහම it can be a village, it can be a city, Colombo, ඒ වගේ ගමක්, නගරයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් පාසල වගේ දෙයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපේ නිවස ඇතුලේ ස්ථානයක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Kitchen, it can be the living room, it can be a hall, right? So likewise, there are different places and things. Books, pencil, table, car, shoes, ඕනම දෙයක්. An idea. So what do we mean by idea? That is honesty, anger, friendship. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට තියෙන හැඟීමක් කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි honesty කියන්නේ අවංකත්වය කියන එක. ඒකට අවංකත්වය කියන එකත් නාමපදයක් කියලා ගන්න. anger කියන්නේ මට තරහ යනවා. තරහ. ඒකත් නාමපදයක්. friendship. අපි කවුරු එක්ක හරි තියෙන යාළුකම. loyalty කියන්නේ විශ්වාසවන්තකම. සහ memory කියන්නේ අපේ මතකය කියන එක. ඒකට ඒ වගේ යම්කිසි අදහස් හැඟීම් ඒ දේවලුත් එනවා මේ noun කියන එකට. Right? So since Hirusha know about the nouns, I will not take a lot of time. So you can just refresh, right? ඔයා දන්න දේවල් මේකෙන් මතකය අලුත් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මම මෙතන examples ටිකක් තමයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? එතකොට we know that whenever we have this kind of a word, right? So Amal is my best friend. Amal is good, right? අපි කියනවා අමල් මගේ හොඳම යාළුවේ අමල් හොඳයි කියලා. ඒතකොට අපි මෙහෙම වාක්‍ය දෙකක් ලියන තැනක අමල් කියන නමම දෙපාරක් ලියනවා වෙනුවට අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් he කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කිව්වොත් අමල් ඒ වෙනුවට එයා පිරිමි ළමෙක් නිසා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් ඔහු කියලා. අමල් ඊළඟ වාක්‍යයේදී අපිට ඔහු කියන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඒ ඔහු කියන එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ he, right? එතකොට Amal is my best friend. Amal is good. මේ Amal කියන එකම repeat කරනවට වඩා ලස්සනයි Amal is my best friend. He is good කියලා ලියුවොත්. එතකොට මේ වගේ he, she, they, it ඒ වගේ තියෙන වචන වලට අපි කියනවා මොකක්ද? pronoun, right? So it is something, it is a word which replaces a noun. Right? යම්කිසි noun එකක් වෙනුවට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් තව වචනයකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ pronoun කියලා, right? So Amal is my best friend. Amal is good. Right? Instead we can write Amal is my best friend. He is good. Right? So let's see this second example. Birds have wings. Birds can fly high in the sky. Right? So instead we can say birds have wings. They can fly high in the sky. Right? Birds කියන්නේ බහුවචනයක්. Right? කුරුල්ලෝ. ඒතර කුරුල්ලෝ නම් අපි දන්නවා සිංහලෙන් ඔවුන්. ඔහු ඒ වගේ බහුවචන පද තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ වගේ තමයි they කියලා තමයි අපි මෙතන replace කරන්නේ. Right? Birds have wings. Birds can fly high in the sky. එතකොට මේ birds කියන වචනේ අපි දෙපාරක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. දෙවෙනි පාරට අපි birds කියන වචනේ වෙනුවට පාවිච්චි කරනවා they can fly high in the sky. Right? So is it clear, Hirusha? Do you now understand what is pronoun?
Yes, teacher.
Right. Okay. Right. So now we discussed pronouns. So when we talk about pronouns, we have 3 different types. Right? Again, pronouns කියන එකත් අපිට කොටස් තුනකට බෙදන්න පුළුවන්. Subject, object and reflexive. Right? So subject කියන්නේ අපි කෙලින්ම මම I. මම නම් I කියන එක use කරනවා. Object කියන එකෙන් වෙන්නේ මේ උදාහරණ බලන්න. Subject නම් I completed English homework. English teacher gave homework to me. يعني මම තමා මෙතන මට තමා වැඩේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ. right? මේකෙදි මම තමා වැඩේ කරන්නේ. මෙතනදි මට තමා වැඩේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර ඒක තමා subject and object. Right? And then we have the reflexive pronoun. So reflexive pronoun we saw visin කියන එකනේ. I completed English homework myself. Right? ඒක හැමතිස්සෙම මම කරනවා නම් කියන්නේ මම කරනවා කියන එක මම විසින් නැතුව මම කියලා use කරනවා නම් I. Right? I completed English homework. එතකොට I කියන එක subject pronoun එක. right? English teacher gave homework to me. English teacher මට දුන්නේ. මට කියන එක තමයි object pronoun. ඒ කියන්නේ කරන දෙයට යටත් වෙන කෙනා තමයි object pronoun. Reflexive pronoun අපි කියන්නේ මම විසින්, ඔහු විසින්, ඔවුන් විසින්. Okay, I completed English homework myself. Right? Look at this example. Right? So make it clear that.
Okay, teacher.
Right. So if we look into the other example, the other one, they, right? So subject pronoun. So earlier we saw right. So we saw earlier that we used they in place of birds, right? So they also we can change it. They කියන වචනයත් අපිට වෙනස් කරලා තියෙයි. Subject pronoun නම් they. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි වැඩේ කරන්නේ. They ran after the dog, right? Object pronoun කියන්නේ the dog ran after them, right? So they, them, themselves, right? So subject, object, and reflexive pronouns. They ran home themselves, right? So එතකොට අපිට pronouns වලත් විදි තුනක් තියෙනවා use කරන්න පුළුවන් subject, object, reflexive. ඒතර මේ පාඩමෙන් අපි අතරම reflexive object reflexive pronouns කියන එක තමයි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ. එතකොට මම examples ටිකක් දීලා තියෙනවා මෙන්න මේ විදියට. Right. So you can see subject pronouns, object pronouns, and reflexive pronouns. Right? So I, me, myself. Right? අපි දන්නා පුද්ගලයෝ ගැන කියනකොට first person, second person, third person කියලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ first person කියන්නේ මම. උත්තම පුරුෂ එහෙම තියනවා නේද? උත්තම පුරුෂ මොනවාද තියෙන විදි අපි බෙදන්නේ මොනවාද උත්තම පුරුෂ තියනවා නේද? හිරුෂ මතකද ඒවා? සිංහලෙන් අපේ තියෙන උත්තම පුරුෂ
Oh, teacher, uttama purusha, madhyam purusha, prathama purusha.
And right. So ඒවා තමයි මේ first person, second person, third person කියන්නේ, right? So first person කියන්නේ උත්තම පුරුෂ. ඒ කියන්නේ මම. Right? ඒක හන්ද තමයි මේ I, me, myself. එතකොට first person එකේ subject pronouns තියෙනවා, object pronouns තියෙනවා, reflexive pronouns. එතකොට ඒක තමයි I, me, myself. Right? Second person ඔබ කියලා අපි කියනවා නම් ඒක තමයි second person කියන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මධ්‍යම පුරුෂ නේද? You, yourself, right? So subject pronoun, object pronoun දෙකම ඔබ කියන එකට එකයි. You, හැබැයි reflexive pronoun එකේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම yourself. හැමතිස්සෙම reflexive pronoun එකට අන්තිමට self කියන එක එනවා. Right? Third person. Right? So third person කිව්වහම මේක වෙන්න පුළුවන් පුරුෂලිංග, ස්ත්‍රීලිංග, හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් දෙයක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? Male, female, or a thing. Right? So he, him, himself, she, her, herself, it, itself. Right? එතකොට මේ ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ එක පුද්ගලයෙක්, right? So ඒකවාචී, singular, right? So when we talk about plural, ඒ වගේම බහුවාචී පැත්තට ගත්තාම first person plural. ඒ කියන්නේ මම උත්තම පුරුෂ I, මම අපි. මම සහ අපිනේ උත්තම පුරුෂයන්. ඒ වගේ I and we, right? So second person you, ඒක you. ඔබලා කියලා අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනවා. හැබැයි ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් you plural උනත් youම තමයි. Right? So you, yourselves. right? Third person සහතින් ඒ කියන්නේ plural වෙනකොට ඒක male ද female ද දෙයක්ද කියන එක මත depend වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Third person plural වෙනකොට they them themselves, right? So he she it කියලා තුනක් තිබ්බට third person වලට ඒකවාචී singular words වලට තුනක් තිබ්බට plural වෙනකොට තියෙන්නේ they කියන එක විතරයි. Right? So I, me, myself, you, yourself, he, him, himself, she, her, herself, it, itself. මේ ඔක්කොම singular words, right? So ඒකවාචී පද. මෙතන තියෙන්නේ බහුවාචී පද. We, us, ourselves, you, yourselves, they, them, themselves. Right? හිරුෂ මේක තේරුණාද? තමන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද?
තේරුණා ටීචර්.
right හරි. මේ ටික ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ දැන් මම මේක ඇත්තටම තේරුම් කරා already, right? So self කියන එක තමයි අපි දාන්නේ, right? So reflexive pronoun එක අපි අන්තිමට ඒක ඒකවචන නම් self කියලා දානවා. බහුවචන නැත්නම් plural නම් selves, selves කියලා දානවා. right? So ඒක තමයි අපි මේ ඉස්සල්ලා එකේ දැක්කේ. right? මේකෙදි දැක්ක දැන් මෙතන myself මෙතන self විතරයි අපි add කරන්නේ. self මෙතන selves, selves. right? So ඒක වාචී මේක බහුවාචී. right? එතකොට අපි we add either self or selves whether it is based on whether it is singular or plural, right? And also when we use it when the subject and the object of the sentences are the same. ඒ කියන්නේ subject එක සහ object එක කියන දෙකම එකම වෙනකොට දැන් මෙතන මම දැක්කනේ I completed English homework myself. So this is the subject and this is the object. So subject එක සහ object එක කියන දෙකම එකම කෙනෙක් නම් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවල් වල තමයි අපි reflexive pronoun එක use කරන්නේ. මෙතන they ran home themselves. කරන්නේත් මේගොල්ලෝ ඒ කරන වැඩේට යටත් වෙන්නේ ඒ කට්ටියම තමයි. ඒතකොට ඒක හන්ද තමයි they ran home themselves කියන්නේ. right? එතකොට අපි reflexive pronouns use කරන්නේ when the subject and the object of the sentences are the same. right? So subject එක සහ object එක කියන දෙකම එකම වෙන අවස්ථාවල් වල අපිට reflexive pronoun එක use කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? So I have given here some examples. right? So I have sorry, wait a minute. right, so I have given here some examples. Our English teacher said that she herself would prepare them. right? Our English teacher said that she herself would prepare them. So what is the reflexive pronoun in this sentence? Make a reflexive pronoun. herself. So the reflexive pronoun is herself. right? So second sentence, did you do it by yourself? Did you do it by yourself? So the reflexive pronoun is yourself. right? So the next one is all by myself. So myself is going to be the reflexive pronoun. right? And the other one is our arts teacher himself designed the invitation for the chief guest. Our arts teacher himself designed the invitation for the chief guest, right? So herself, yourself, myself, himself. මේවා තමයි reflexive pronoun, right? And here in this I have given plural, right? So මෙතන අපි කතා කරේ ඔක්කොම ඒකවාචී වචන. මෙතන එන්නේ plural, බහුවාචී. Why don't you sit and make yourselves comfortable so that we can start our discussion straight away? Yourselves, right? Here, Ruin and Meena promised to do the decorations by themselves. ඒගොල්ලෝ විසින් කරන්න පොරොන්දු වුණා, right? I am sure we can make the English camp a success and be proud of ourselves. අපි ගැන අපි ආඩම්බර වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? So මේ තියෙන්නේ plural reflexive pronouns, right? So මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි වාක්‍ය ඇතුලේ මේ වචන use කරන්නේ, right? So ඊළඟට අපිට තියෙනවා මෙන්න මේ activity එක English pupils book එකේ activity 1.3, right? මේක ඔයාලට homework මේ සතියට, right? අපි බලමු activity. Right, here you have the activity, right? So activity 1.3, right? So in your book, I think it's page 4, right? So in activity 1.3, you have 2 parts, right? Part A and part B. So in first part, what you need to do is rearrange the words to form correct sentences to use reflexive pronouns as objects, right? So reflexive pronouns use කරලා අපි වචනයක් හරියට හදන්න තමයි මේකෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න, right? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට වාක්‍යයට එන ඔක්කොම වචන ටික දීලා තියෙනවා, හැබැයි ඒවා කලවම් කරලා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒතකොට ඔයාලා හොයන්න ඕනේ මේක කොයි පිළිවෙලට ලියුවමද හරියට වාක්‍යයක් එන්නේ. Right? And in part B, follow the example. One example is given and mark with this sign the positions where you can use the word given within brackets. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන මේ දීලා තියෙන එක වෙනුවට දැන් මෙතන තියෙනවා I prepared meals. Right? So when we say I prepared meals, we can write I myself prepared meals, or else I can say I prepared meals myself, right? So අපිට මේක දෙවිදියකට ලියන්න පුළුවන් myself include කරලා. but එක්ක කියන්න පුළුවන් I prepared meals myself, or else I can say I myself prepared the meals. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි මේ reflexive pronoun එක මේ දීලා තියෙන වාක්‍යයේ කොතනටද දාන්නේ. එතකොට මේක she admitted that it was wrong, right? So where we can include this reflexive pronoun. ඔයාලා හොයන්න ඕනේ මේ වචනය මේ වාක්‍යයේ කොතනටද දාන්න පුළුවන් මේ වාක්‍යයේ meaning එක වෙනස් නොවන විදිහට. Right? So these are the 2 exercises. So since we have gone beyond the time, these 2 exercises or this activity will be the homework for today. Right? So my activity 1.3 එක අදට දෙන homework එක විදියට කරගෙන ඉන්න. එතකොට අපි ආයෙත් හම්බ වෙන්නේ බ්‍රහස්පතින්දාට කලින් පුළුවන් නම් මේකේ answers ටික මට WhatsApp එකේ දාන්න. එතකොට මම හරි වැරදි දාලා මම එවන්නම්. එතකොට අපිට discuss කරන්න පුළුවන් class එකේ. Right? Right. So Hirusha, is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Right. Okay. So do this at home and send me the answers. If you have any questions when you are doing it, you can always contact me over my phone. And once you are done, please WhatsApp the answer sheets. Right? And we will meet again next Thursday. Right? So we will end the class for today. Thank you for joining and good night.
Oh, teacher.